Have you ever wondered if your financial situation right now, whether you're thriving or struggling, was entirely in your hands? Or maybe you've been caught up in the whirlwind of blaming everything else: the economy, the government, the system, your circumstances. But what if I told you that in 2025, being broke is a choice? Stay with me on this, because it's about to get deep. Now, before you get all defensive, I'm not saying that your struggles are imaginary, or that life hasn't thrown you some serious curveballs. I get it. The economy's been unpredictable. Inflation is through the roof, and the job market? It's not the easiest place to navigate, especially in a post-pandemic world. But hear me out. Being broke, at least in 2025, is a mindset. It's a choice. You may not have realized it yet, but I'm here to open your eyes. Let's rewind for a second. Just a few decades ago, being broke was a lot harder to change. The opportunities weren't as plentiful. You didn't have access to the tools we have today. The internet? It wasn't a game changer. E-commerce? Still a pipe dream. If you wanted to get ahead, you needed to climb the corporate ladder. Your best shot was at a 9-to-5 job that paid decent enough to get by. Now, it's a whole different world. In 2025, you've got access to more opportunities than any generation before you. And if you're still sitting there complaining that the world's out to get you, let's be real about it. You're missing out. Opportunities are everywhere, right at your fingertips. You've got the internet, a free tool that has completely changed the game. In fact, if you're still waiting for the perfect job or the right opportunity to fall in your lap, you're doing it all wrong. Let's break this down. In 2025, anyone can create an online business. Whether it's selling a product, offering a service, creating content, or even building an app, there are no barriers. None. You don't need an expensive education. You don't need a huge investment. And you don't need approval from anyone. You need a phone, an internet connection, and the will to learn. That's it. You want to make money online? Guess what? It's not just a possibility, it's a reality. The only thing stopping you is you. But here's the kicker. Being broke in 2025 isn't just about not having money in your bank account. It's about your willingness to grow. Think about it. Are you learning every single day? Are you searching for new ways to create value? Are you exploring the endless resources available at your fingertips? Or are you just scrolling mindlessly, consuming content without purpose, waiting for the next miracle to happen? I'm not saying you have to work 20-hour days like some Silicon Valley guru, but if you're not actively trying to improve your skill set, network with like-minded people, and create something that brings value to others, then yes, you are choosing to stay broke. The internet is full of tools, free content, and ways to make money. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your mindset. Take influencers, for example. A decade ago, being an influencer seemed like a far-fetched dream. Who could have imagined that posting on Instagram or TikTok could turn into a full-time career? But in 2025, people are making millions from their phones just by sharing their passions, their stories, and connecting with an audience. You don't need a college degree or years of experience. You need authenticity, creativity, and consistency. Sure, it's not an easy ride, but it's a choice to pursue it. So why do so many people still choose to stay broke? The truth is, many people are stuck in old ways of thinking. They've been taught that their value is tied to a traditional job or that they need to work for someone else to get ahead. Some people are so deeply embedded in the victim mentality that they refuse to believe that their situation can change. Here's the hard truth. The economy doesn't owe you anything. The government doesn't owe you anything. Your family doesn't owe you anything. You are the one responsible for your own success, your own financial freedom. And that's not a bad thing. It's liberating. It means that you have the power to change your financial future right now. Let's take a moment to talk about the economy, the elephant in the room. Yes, inflation is high. Yes, wages don't seem to match up to the cost of living. But here's the reality. The economy has always been volatile. There have always been downturns. And there have always been periods of prosperity. That's the nature of any system. The question is, what are you doing to ride those waves? The richest people in the world didn't sit around and complain about the economy. They adapted. They learned how to leverage the system, not be victimized by it. They saw recessions as opportunities, not obstacles. They were willing to bet on themselves and their ability to learn, grow, and build something new. But here's the catch. You have to decide. Do you want to keep blaming everything else for your situation? Or are you ready to take ownership of your life? It's easy to blame the government. It's easy to blame the economy. But when you choose to make excuses, you're not solving anything. You're just staying stuck. What if, instead of watching the news or complaining about your circumstances, you spent that energy learning a new skill? What if you started a side hustle? What if you invested in yourself and your future? What if you started seeing every setback as a lesson rather than a roadblock? Look, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Building something from scratch never is. But I am saying that in 2025, we have more tools, more resources, and more opportunities than ever before. The question is, are you using them, or are you letting your mindset keep you stuck? Here's the bottom line. Being broke is a choice. It's a choice to stay complacent, to let your circumstances define you, to let fear hold you back. But the minute you decide to take action, to learn, to grow, and to create opportunities for yourself, that's when the game changes. The world is waiting for you to step up. Are you ready to make the choice? So, yeah, being broke is a choice. Change my mind.